Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you this evening to another session of our business presentation. This presentation is designed for our prospects, people who are our guests, and I would like to have a look at the business we do. We've got people logging in from various parts of the African continent, and some are logging in from the US and Europe. So I'd like to welcome you to these presentations. And without further ado, I would like to share the screen with you so that you can get our business presentation going. My name is Pascl Oloo. I am trained as a civil engineer, a Kenyan by birth, and we've been living in Pretoria for over 20 years. My wife is called Betty, and we started this business for a very simple reason: to make money. That's really why we started the business. Initially, it was to make an extra $200 a month. But when I saw the potential of the business, what the business could do, my dreams and goals changed. And eventually, after 3 years of very hard work, I left my employment to run this business on a full-time basis. So if you're a guest, put on your seatbelts, take notes. Then at the end of this presentation, just make a decision, go back to the person who invited you to guide you on how to get started in our business. Now, what is the mission of our company? What is the mission of our business? A very simple mission is to make the world a healthier and a happier place. And that always starts with you. Because during this year of 2023, the last 2-3 years have been very tough, but things are looking up now. What is going to be your goal? What is going to be your life in the next 2 to 3 years? That's Betty and myself. We started the business because when we moved from Kenya to South Africa, I came to study, but also to work. And because at that time, the country, South Africa, had just become independent, most schools or government institutions or the workplaces was bilingual. That means you needed to know 2 languages, English and Afrikaans, in order to be able to get employment. So Betty couldn't get a job, and one of our children being ill, Betty made a decision to become a full-time mother. So when we started the business, our goal was to make an extra $200 a month. That would be able to supplement my salary, and I was quite excited about that. But when I equaled my salary after 7 months of hard work, I took a keen look at the business. I started the business model. Betty and I worked very hard the first 3 years until the income from the business was 3 times my salary and I left my employment. So if you're a guest, just listen, pay attention. After this presentation, go back to the person who invited you. Tell them I'd like to start the business yesterday. If you have any questions, they will answer it. In fact, most of the learning in this business, you learn after you get started. Okay. Just to begin, there are 4 ways that people essentially use to make money or to generate an income. The first is called a job. This is when you work for somebody. After 30 days, they pay you a salary. Employment is good, at least you don't have the responsibility to create the money that is used to pay your salary. It's a challenge because the way the world is going, because of technology, there are so many changes. It's become a risky thing to depend on a job. Why? Because technology, employers have found very efficient ways to generate their revenue, and using less people and more technological advances. So I think it would be very risky to depend on a job. Secondly, the second way that people use to generate income is self-employment. This is when you get some money, you borrow your life savings, your mortgage, whatever it is, you borrow some money to start and run a business. I was watching a presentation by a South African entrepreneur called Busi Tembakwayo, and he said that if you really want to know you're an entrepreneur or you're a business owner, go away from it for 60 to 90 days. If the business collapses, you don't own the business. You're just a glorified employee. So starting your own business, you need to be able to build it in such a way that you can actually spend some time away from the business and it grows with or without you. The third way that people use to generate income is big business. This is when you get huge capital, lots of employees, and with lots of employees also you have labor issues, and most people don't have the access to get this level of capital to start a big business. Big businesses are companies like Vodacom in Southern Africa, MTN in East and West Africa, Safaricom in East Africa, Naivas, ShopRite Checkers, which is a retail store. These are big businesses. They invest millions of dollars to be able to do their businesses. The fourth way that people use to generate income is investment. This is when you get money over and above what you need for your daily living, and you start a business, you take the money and invest in an instrument or a business that generates for you an income because you put investment there. You need a return on your investment. Now, this requires two things. Number one, the skill and the knowledge to be able to invest money and get a good return. That means you need to be able to analyze the business. You need to be able to analyze how you get a return on your investment. And it needs to be a very secure investment for you to be able to put in your money. The question is there an ideal business? Can you say there's a criteria you can use to check whether a business is ideal or not? I think it has the following criteria. Number one, you need very low capital to start this kind of business. In our business, you need between $60 to $100 to be able to invest in a global business. The second is you need to get involved in distribution of goods and services. Why is that the case? Because this is what people really need. The third element is you need to have a global reach. The reason why this is important is because if you're doing business in one country, your penetration or your income depends on the population of that country and people who can't get access to your products. Build a global business, you need to be able to do business in other countries. Our company does business in 50 countries around the world. In Africa, we do business in 14 countries. The fourth element is you need leverage. Leverage simply means you find a way to multiply your time and your effort so that you can earn more money rather than depending on the time you spend working or providing a product or a service to the public. Each of us has only 24 hours a day. If you really want to generate additional income, you need to learn how to cooperate with other people so that you can leverage your time. The fifth element is you need consumable, high-quality products because consumable products have a repeat sale. People buy these products. When they finish, they go and buy some more. That is a very good criteria for doing a business. The sixth element is you need a business system. A business system is when you design or devise tools, procedures, equipment that you teach the people you do business with so that you as the business owner, you don't have to be present when your business is being run. This is what makes business very unique when you build a system for your business to grow with or without you. And the last one is timing. Timing is very critical in our business because if you start the business at the wrong time, your business is not likely to gain traction. Now, what is network marketing? What is this business that I'm discussing with you? Network marketing is actually a very simple business system, but very efficient method of distribution of goods and services. How does it work? A very simple idea. Our company makes a range of products, consumable products, and use individuals to take the products to the marketplace, to consumers. But a very significant thing that is unique in this industry, in our business, is we cut out the middleman between the manufacturer and the consumer so that the money that is available to all these middlemen who would add a percentage on the cost of the product, that is the money that is paid to distributors like myself. So we cut out the middleman. There is no advertising in our business. We advertise the products by word of mouth. We don't have wholesalers or retailers. The products are explained to customers, and we are paid for successfully referring the products to customers to buy. The company has a way of monitoring this process. The products are researched and developed on your behalf. That simply means, although you're in business for yourself, you're not by yourself. You've got a whole support structure that helps you to grow your business. So Neolife has built infrastructure in 50 different countries, computer systems, they employ staff to run the business, they do research and development, they get raw materials, they manufacture the products, they do quality control, they register the products in different markets around the world. The only duty as a business person partnering with this company is to build a network where people use and promote the products. That is what the business is. There are no qualifications required except three things. One, your desire for success. Number two, teachability. And number three, hard work. If you have these three things going for you, your business will be very, very successful. Now, Neolife was started by Jerry Brasfield. Jerry Brasfield, when he was a young person, a teenager, had a very serious asthma. And his mother gave him natural remedies. And when a thought occurred to him, maybe I need to share this idea with other people. I can build a business around this. That's how Neolife was born. 64 years later, the business has spread to over 50 countries around the world. But what has kept Neolife going for all these years is we believe in certain basic principles that guide the stability of our business. Number one is absolute honesty and integrity. We believe we need to tell our customers and the public the truth about the products, about how our business is built. The second is people are number one. The most important resource we have in our business is people. The third, products that work. Neolife spends a lot of money. They put together the best scientific minds in the research and development of the products so that we get top quality products in their categories. Neolife have had world first in some of the products they have researched and developed. For example, carotenoid complex is the only product in the world of its kind that boosts the human immune system. The company's done a lot of research to show how this product works. The fourth element is equal opportunity for all. Everybody who starts this business starts at exactly the same level. And the growth of your business just depends on how hard you work. And the last one is long-range vision. You need to have a very, very long-range vision to grow your business and to get a stable business. We recommend that give the business a 2 to 5 year horizon and you will reach financial freedom. That simply means that if you build your business correctly, after 2 to 5 years, you will not have to worry that you have a job or not, because you have built it properly and your family can actually live on the income you get from this business. Neolife started in 1958 in the USA, came to South Africa in 1971. East Africa, that is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, between 96 and 97. West Africa, he went 1999 or around the year 2000. If you're a guest, this business has come to your doorstep today. Now, why do people start this business? People have got so many different reasons why they start the business. Some start the business because they want a better life for their children. Some start the business because maybe they want to support their parents. Some start the business because they are not happy with their job. Some start the business because they want to build good homes. Some to buy good cars. Some maybe they're just tired of how they are working. They want something new, something different, something adventurous. Some people start the business because they want to travel. Some start the business because they want to make money. Initially, it may become just part-time income. But if you take the business seriously and build it, this business can become a very lucrative business. Some start the business because they want to be physically fit. So people start this business for so many different reasons. If you're a guest, think about your reasons for wanting to start this business. You start the business with Neolife, you're partnering with a company which has got more than 60 years experience, operates in over 50 countries, and is supported by the Scientific Advisory Board, a group of scientists whose job is just to do research, development, and quality control of the products. We have 4 ranges of products in our business. The first range is called the Golden Home Care range. These are products for cleaning the bathroom, the kitchen, the toilet, things in your home that you need for cleaning. The second range is the personal care range of products. These are things like hair shampoos, hair conditioners, hand and body lotion, and all that. The third is the skincare organics or the nutrients, the products to cleanse and detoxify your skin, to balance and invigorate, to nourish, to moisturize your skin. We've got a good range of products in this range. And the last range is health supplements or the nutritional products. This is the highest selling range of our business. The reason, very simple. Your greatest wealth is your health. How does this business work? This business works when you do 3 daily success habits. Things you do every day to grow your business. The first, using the products. You simply change your shopping habits. You change where you buy the products. Instead of buying the products at other retail outlets or shop, you buy this range of products from your own business. 1, you're supporting your own business. Number 2, the people you're recommending the products to want to know that you also believe in what you are recommending. Neolife operates in different countries around the world. Because each country has got a different currency, the company has standardized the measurement of business using the point value system. So let me say you do 100 PV in a month, which is about $160 in value. The second thing you do is to share the business opportunity. That means you introduce other people also to be users of the products. In this example, you've introduced 6 families or 6 people to use 100 products worth of value, plus yourself is 700 PV, you become a manager in the business. The next thing you do is you teach all these people you brought in also to introduce other promoters or users of the products. The person on the top right corner is introduced 2 people who in turn introduce 2 others. You will have built a 700 PV unit plus the other 6, gives you 1,300 and your income is about $90 a month. You become a senior manager. The next step is you teach all these people to duplicate or to replicate what you do. If 6 households do 700 PV, you've got 4,002 plus 100 that you do yourself, gives you 4,300, and your income is between $580 and $700. That is just the beginning. But you see, not everybody is going to join your business. Some people will say, I just want to use the products. If you've got these people, they'll become your customers, and you make a profit for about 20% because these people are not registered. They can only buy the products through you from the company, and you make a net profit of 20%. The third thing we do every day is personal development. That simply means you take time to be a better person. You learn about the products, you learn about the business, you learn about people, you learn to be a good leader through the training system, training, support. And if you follow your leader's training system, you're going to be very, very successful. Now, there's a proviso that makes you more successful in this business. You just have to help enough people to become as successful as you are. If you become a director in the business, your next goal is to help other people become directors. If you help one more person become a director, your income goes to about $1,000 a month. If you help 3 people become directors, your income goes to about $2,000. If you help 6 people become directors, your income goes to about $5,000 a month. You reach what is called a president's team member. So today I want to introduce a very rising star in our business from Uganda. His name is just as bright as he looks today. Bright, Paul?
Yes, Pascl.
You're welcome. Take it away and share with us your wonderful story.
Oh, thank you so much, Pascl, for the wonderful work. Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And in a special way, good evening to our dear guest who has tuned in tonight for this session. We are happy to see you and to be with you. And we believe that the God who made it possible for you to be on this call today had a reason, okay? I know many of us could have been praying so hard to God for an opportunity that perhaps will transform our lives. But I'll guarantee you that today, that prayer you have always been making, God has answered. So please, after this call, do not go to pray to God again for any other opportunity, but rather thank them for this wonderful opportunity they have brought forth to you. Like we've heard from Pascl, my name is Paul Bright Kaija, and professionally I've done information technology. I am married to Margaret, and together we have 3 babies. One is Josephine, the second one is Jolene, and the third one is Joy. And we are grateful to God for this. Like our dear guest who has been invited to this call tonight, at one point I was also invited. You know, as I completed school, I started working. And I realized that I was working, but finances were not coming out so well, to the extent that sometimes I could struggle to meet some of my basic needs, you know. And when I looked at the kind of life I always desired to live, I had lost hope. Especially even when I looked at some of the people whom I had found at that place of work. You know, some of them had been working there for 15 years, others 20 years. But you know, whenever I would look at the kind of life which they were living, it wasn't a life that was really inspiring. I don't know about you, our guest tonight. I wonder whether you have ever met people out there who have been working for such a long time, but they still struggle to meet some of their basic needs. And you know, those are the people I had at my place of work. So in my heart, deep inside, I was not settled. I always prayed to God, really, for something that could make me that person I always desired to be. And you know, God is good. You know, his word tells us that when we knock, he'll always open the doors. And at that point, that's when a friend of mine told me about this wonderful business opportunity. And he said, Bright, I have seen a business that we can work together in your free time. And interestingly, he told me it was a business that I was going to do part-time, implying that it would not stop me to continue doing my other work. And he told me, by the way, if you get serious with this opportunity, by the time you complete between 8 months to 1 year, you'll be making over $500 Uganda shillings, sorry, US dollars. And, you know, I was excited about that because I could not imagine something that I could do part-time, and then it is able to pay me even more than what my full-time job was offering me. You know, I did not hesitate. I remember he invited me to a physical meeting. And, you know, while in that meeting, I was so inspired, especially after listening to some of the testimonies of some people who are sharing with us about their experience and their success. And inside of my heart, I was like, this is what I've been looking for. And, you know, I remember I found some of the senior people that I had known before, you know, and deep inside that gave me more trust and grip to this opportunity. But, you know, as they were talking about this wonderful company, I had heard about companies out there, and I had heard some of these companies out of, you know, a bad background. And in my heart, I was wondering, what is the difference? But at the end of the day, when I looked deep into Neolife, when I analyzed the Neolife, when I looked at the values of Neolife, when I looked at the time when Neolife started, I really thought it was a genuine family. And, like some of us have got our personal values. I also have my values. One of my values that guide me is that I do not want to eat the whole world and then end up losing eternity. So in my life, I always wanted to do something that will really not deviate me from my creator. So when I looked at Neo Life values, I really thought it was something worth. It was a great opportunity. Now, my personal values and the values of Neo Life were in synchron. They synchronized and we became one. And I thought this was really the family I was looking for. Now, I remember when, after getting all the excitement and, I wanted to start this business, and they told me I needed to raise a small fee for me to actually partner up with Neo Life. Now, interestingly, I did not have that money. Now, you see, I do not know about you, our dear guest. For me, that's how I was. But you see, I did not take my not having that registration money as a challenge that would put me off this opportunity. But rather, I looked at it as a stepping stone. In fact, it challenged me so much. And I started thinking to myself, Bright, you have been working, from January to December, from 8 p.m. to 5 p.m., from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and you barely have these small dollars to start a business. Now, that was a wake-up call for me. So I would like to challenge our dear guest on this call. If really you find it a challenge to raise the registration fee for you to start this opportunity, then you are the right person to start it. Because personally, I thought I was joking, yet years were passing by. So please, if you are in my position like I was then, I will challenge you. Take it as a stepping stone and start this opportunity. Because one thing I came to learn about life is that for anything great that will transform our lives will always require us to sacrifice. And when you look at a farmer, when they plant, these seeds will first die. And after dying, eventually they will emerge and bring beautiful seeds and fruits. So I would like to challenge you that you will need to sacrifice, okay? For those of us who already have the fee, wonderful. We do not have to think about it, but just to start. When I started, they promised me a number of benefits. The benefit number one, they told me that, Bright, if you start this business and you start doing it seriously, the first benefit you're going to get is good health. Now, of course, at that time, health was not the key factor for me. But as time went by, I realized that health is our greatest wealth. And for the past time I've been involved in this opportunity, we have been able to benefit a lot out of this in terms of health. Now, personally, I used to have challenges of body fatigue. Sometimes I would have programs that would require me to wake up so early in the morning. So sometimes I would set up alarm clocks. Interestingly, when these alarms would ring, I would stretch my arm, switch off these alarms, and give myself more time to sleep. And I thought it was okay. But when I was taught about Neo Life and especially on the cellular nutrition, I realized that I was actually badly off. And immediately when I used one of the product called Trienen for 3 weeks, that body fatigue went away. I know there is a guest who could be feeling like that, Since then, my family entirely has benefited. I'll give you my other testimony. I remember our very first daughter, Josephine, when Margaret got labor pains, we went to the hospital. And I can assure you, I slept in the hospital and Margaret the whole night was in the labor pain. It was so painful indeed, okay? It was my very first experience. And it was her very first experience, yet very painful, the whole night. And I remember she was able to deliver the next day at about midday, okay? Now, from there, when I got to learn more about these wonderful supplements, and especially the supplements have to do with the expectant mothers, like the Pro Vitality, the Calmag, the Aloe Vera Plus. Now, our second daughter, I remember I started Margaret on these products. Now, let me tell you, the story changed. Now, I'll share with you our latest experience, our youngest daughter now. Now, this lady, Margaret, felt some labor pains while she was still at work. And at about 6:30, she called me and she was like, you know, Bright, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. So please, let me pass via the hospital. So you pick up some items and find me. And that's exactly what I did. You know, I found Margaret at the hospital at about 7:30. And by 9 p.m., Margaret had already delivered without any pain. It was just as easy as that. And the next day, no one could actually tell that Margaret had delivered because she was physically strong and she did not have any weakness of a mother who has just delivered. And let me tell you, you do not know how much money we saved by that aspect. Because you see, every time you sleep on a bed in the hospital, those are the dollars going. Now, we were able to save money. Since then, I've seen personally and my family benefiting from the healthy aspect. Of course, we get a few coughs and, you know, flu here and there, but our bodies have got higher immunity, so we heal faster. So we do not go for administration in the hospitals and all that. Now, I can assure our dear guest, when it comes to health, I've been able to attain this benefit which I was promised. And I've not stopped there, but I've gone ahead to help quite a number of other people benefit from this. You know, today you could be on this call and perhaps you are alone. But I can assure you, there are very many people's lives which are going to change. There are many people who are suffering out there and they are going to become better because you have said yes to this opportunity and you have been able to introduce them a wonderful product that will transform their life. You know, there is a lady who had suffered from backache for 20 years. And for 20 years, she was in a corset and she was sleeping on a mattress of about 2 inches for 20 years. Now, we had a seminar in that particular place. This lady was driven and she came to attend our meeting. Now, immediately she registered to start using the products. 18 days later, after using these products, in particular Pro Vitality, Full Motion, and Calmag, Jolie started feeling some difference. Now, about 2 months after, Jolie had removed the corset that she had worn for 20 years. Now, let me tell you, the doctors had told her that, you know what, you will not do anything. Why? Because of your situation. Now, let me assure you today, for some of us on this call, if we were on the lineup and the doctor is, and the whistle blows, I know Jolie would leave some of us on this call behind. But she's the person who had one time lost hope. Now, let me tell you, supposing I had not started this business and perhaps met this lady, maybe she would have died. You know, I'm not God, but I'm just assuming based on the situation she was in. So I can assure you, I have been able to benefit the healthy aspect together with my family, but we have also been able to spread this to very many people across Uganda and even outside Uganda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, in the US, talk about all these East African countries, okay? The second benefit they told me, they said, Brett, if you start this business and you start doing it seriously, you're going to start making over $500 on a monthly basis, yet on a part-time basis. And I loved that. You know, I remember my very first income out of this opportunity was about $20. Now, you know, when I got that money, I was excited. Now, that was inclusive of the profit and the commission. When I got that income, I was so excited. Now, I remember I showed my commission. That time they were giving us checks. Now, I showed it to some of my friends. Now, you do not know how those friends demotivated me. You know, some of them said, you know, Bright, those things do not work. You know, we warned you that you are going to waste your time, you're going to waste your energy, you're going to waste your general resources. Look, that guy was in that thing and they never succeeded. What makes you think that you'll succeed? Look at the commission that you have gotten. In fact, you would have come and we actually collected this money and gave it to you instead of wasting your resources. Now, I felt down, okay? And I can assure you, our dear guest, I know on this call, right from this call, you'll go and share with your friend. And trust me, about 80% of these friends will not agree with you. About 80% of these friends will discourage you from this opportunity. They will show you all the reasons why this opportunity will not work for you. They will even give you vivid examples. But let me tell you, as much as those friends of mine showed me that this opportunity would not work for me, and they discouraged me, I looked on the positive side of it. I realized that as much as they looked at the people who had failed, I had also looked at people who had succeeded. And I promised myself that for anything to do with this business, I will see that person who has succeeded. I will ask them what they have done, and I will also do it. And we shall see whether I will not succeed. Because you see, God created us, and he left us with one thing, and that is the power of choice. That you see, you can decide to choose the side of the people who have failed. At the same time, you can choose to side with people who have succeeded. Now, as some of my friends looked at the people who had failed, I decided to look at the people who had succeeded. And trust me, we all got the results accordingly. Because you know what? Even the Bible says that a bad company corrupts good morals. So if you're the kind of person who has a dream that Pascl has told us about, if you're the kind of person who really wants to change something about their life, then you will need to look for people who are living that kind of life. And trust me, they'll show you the way, because it is either or. Everywhere one will get the results. 8 months later of doing this business opportunity, my commission alone was able to rise to about $250 after 8 months of working this business, about $250. And you know, when I got this check this time round, I took it back to the same friends that had discouraged me the first time. And you do not want to know their expression. Some of them were like, you know, Bright, you know, for us, we know you. We knew that you would actually make it. So it sounded funny that, you know, at the end of the day, some people will go by the wave. But for that person, for you, our guest, who is on this call, who has a purpose, you not go by the wave, but rather you keep your focus on what you want to attain. And trust me, at the end of the day, you'll attain that. Because those same friends, this time round, were in agreement with me. I remember about 1 year and 12 months after, my commission was able to grow up to about $800, and I was very excited. I visited my friends again, and these friends this time round were like, Bright, you know what? For you, you are actually far, so we may not catch up with you. Now, I don't know what lesson you can pick from there, but one thing for sure is that when you have a purpose in life, when you have a dream, when you have something that you focused and you really want to achieve in life, no matter whatever that happens along the way, you'll always attain it. And trust me, there are very many people who are waiting on the finishing line to celebrate with you that success. But the only way you can reach that success is by keeping the focus, no matter what happens. Okay, I know many of us have do know the story of a frog that was in a competition, with other frogs, and they were supposed to climb a certain wall. And you know, as these frogs lined up to climb this wall, many other frogs down were cheering. Some of them were positive, others were negative. Others were saying, you know what, you can make it, keep on. And other frogs were saying, you can't make it. My friend, that thing is so hard. And many of the frogs, unfortunately, were able to slip off. But then there was one particular frog that climbed up to the top. And, you know, when this frog was brought to celebrate its success and be awarded, they interviewed it. But you see, as they were interviewing this frog, it was not saying a thing. It was just watching. The interviewer was asking it questions, nothing, only to realize that actually this frog was deaf. So one thing for sure, I decided to become deaf, and I will encourage you to be deaf about some of the negatives that come along the way, okay? Why? Because they will not support you, but rather slip you off. Now, I can assure you, they promised me those funds. I started this business when I was broke because I could not afford to cater some of my basics. But today, I'm grateful to God that I am financially independent. In fact, I have been able to make decisions that men do. And you know, men make some decisions like owning titles of land. Men make decisions like, you know, building homes. Today, we are building a home on one of the best sites. We have a very good location on the hill overlooking the beautiful plateaus of Uganda in Kampala here. Now, that was a dream come true, but that has been possible because someone introduced me to this business and someone encouraged me, okay? I've also been able to support quite a number of people be able to achieve financially in this opportunity. Some of them have been able to pay school fees for their children. Others have been able to attain their needs and wants that require finances. So today you are here. I know some of us could be well financially, but you see, there is that person who has always approached you and they request you for a financial assistance. Now, for the sake of that person, start this business. Because this time around, when they come to ask you about financial help, you'll not only give them the fish, but you'll give them the hook so that they can be able to make their own money. And I think that is the best thing that you'll have given to them. I know one of the doctors in Uganda here, this doctor, when someone introduced him to this business, and he was very successful, he had almost everything that one would desire. And he asked this person who was introducing him, now, why should I start this business? You know, I have everything that I need. Now, this person told him, you know what, doctor? Start it for other people. Because you know what? God has blessed us in one way or another so that someone, somehow, somewhere will tap on that blessing. So start this business for that person if you are well. They promised me that, you know, Bright, when you start this business, you'll travel the world. Now, when they told me I'll travel some of the best destinations in the world just for holiday, now that seemed impossible for me. Why? Because I looked at myself at that moment, how I was. I looked at my background and I thought this was not for me. I thought traveling for lifestyle was a special package for special people in this world. But you know what? Someone told me, Bright, do not worry on how it will come to pass. Just take a step of faith and start this business. You know, I'll share with you my very first experience to travel with Neolife for lifestyle was after a wedding with Margaret. Of course, we had a mini honeymoon in Uganda, but after, Neolife took us to one of the best golf and country resorts in East and Central Africa. In fact, when Obama came to East Africa, they looked for the hotel that suits him. There is no hotel they could see, apart from that hotel where Bright and Margaret went for their honeymoon. The same services that Obama got are the same services that Bright and Margaret got. And that place is the Windsor Golf and Country Club. I know very many guys in Kenya are familiar with that. But I'll bet with you, how many people can afford to go to Windsor Golf and Country Club for their honeymoon? Okay? Now that's what Neolife has to offer, ladies and gentlemen. Since then, I've traveled. I had a dream of traveling on the plane. Now, courtesy of Neolife, I've traveled by plane not once, not twice, not thrice. In fact, I broke a record. So I know our dear guest who is on this call, if you have never been on a plane, not go for heart surgery, but for lifestyle, to some of the best resorts in the world, Neolife is an opportunity to go for. Okay? Today, I'm very excited with my family. Why? Because of Neolife. You know, if I was talk about Neolife, I can talk until the cows come back. You know, in Uganda, we let the cows go in the morning in the farm, then in the evening they come back for warming and milking. So Neolife has been able to transform my family. It has been able to help me add the value to other people. You know, the greatest joy and happiness is in hearing a word. Like, if it was not because of Bright, I do not know how my life would be. And you know, all those are blessings. I'll end up, our dear guest, by sharing with you my small story. You know, there is a lady who was very committed in serving God. Very committed. And she kept on asking God to pay her a visit. And God promised her that at one point, he would come. Now, indeed, God gave her a date. Now, this lady prepared. Like, you can prepare for a very, very important person. And guess what? At about midday, midday, there came a person who looked like crazy because of how he was dressed, the way he was, you know, behaving. He was really crazy. So when this person came, this lady looked at her from afar. And immediately, she employed someone to chase off this crazy person. And she said, "You want to destroy my preparations. You do not know I've prepared for a very important guest whom I've waited for a very long time." Little did she know that actually God had come, but dressed in rags. After chasing this person, this lady waited and waited for God, and all was in vain. Eventually, she was so disappointed. When she went back to her fellowship, she asked God. She said, "God, you're not fair. God, I've been so committed to serving you for all this time. But only for one day, a few hours, I asked you to visit me. And you gave me a date. I prepared so well. And you disappointed me by not turning up. God, you're not fair." She held all words. God was listening. And you know, after breaking down, God told her, "You know what, lady, I came to your home and you chased me." And the lady was confused. She was like, "When did you come and when did I chase you?" So ladies and gentlemen, and our dear guest on this call, this opportunity could have come in a way that you do not expect. But I will pray to God to give you an insight that you will embrace this opportunity so that one day you will be able to tell a story, that one day you'll be able to help that person who is out there waiting for your outreach. And, you know, together we shall make it possible. Because if it has been able to work for me, if it has been able to work for each and everyone on this call, especially that person who has invited you, it will also work for you. Thank you so much for coming in, our dear guest, and I wish you the best. God bless you. Thank you so much, Pascl. Back to you, please.
Thank you very much, Paul. That was really a brilliant testimony. And you know, like the lady that Bright was talking about, there is somebody somewhere waiting for you to speak about this business. There's somebody somewhere waiting for you to speak about the products of this business. So, Paul, thank you so much for that testimony. I'm sure the guests were listening keenly about, because Paul Bright and his wife and the family are just ordinary like you and myself. The difference is they made a decision. One of the things that our company has done is to make the business as efficient as possible, taking advantage of online services. If you want to order products, you can order the products online. If you want to register new distributors, you can register them online. Once you register as a distributor in the business, the company creates for you a back office that is a tool with information about our products that you can use to manage and monitor your business. Training is done locally and internationally by online services. For example, these presentations. We've got people from different countries who are attending the meeting. Delivery of products. Every market that the company is doing business, they contract local courier companies to deliver products to our guests, our prospects and our customers. Payment is done by online mobile transfer. Payment of bonuses and commissions is done by electronic funds transfer or mobile money. So the company has made the business efficient so that you can build a business from anywhere in the world. One of the things that Paul Bright was talking about is traveling. Every year, the company in each region have conventions where they share the products and they share successes. In East Africa, the last meeting was in Dar es Salaam. In Southern Africa, the meeting was in Pretoria, South Africa, that covers the Southern African region. So if you're a guest, this is what you expect to benefit when you start and grow your business. What do you need to get started? First, speak to the person who invited you. They'll give you an application form to fill. You pay your registration amount. This is the initial investment. In South Africa, it's between 830 and 2,810. In Kenya, is about 8,000 shillings or 10,000. In Nigeria, it's 24,500 and 31,500. In Tanzania, is 153,000 or 190,000 Tanzania shillings. In Uganda, is 225,000 or 273,000 Uganda shillings. In the USA, 75 US dollars. In Togo is 43,500 or 58,500 francs CFA. Italy is 64 euros. In Ghana is 493 or 787 Ghanaian cedis. In Cameroon is 56,000 or 68,000 francs CFA. This is what you need in your different markets that you do business to start your business. What is the next step? Remember, if you want to succeed in anything, the first step is you need to make a decision. That is, yes, I want to do the business, or I need more information. So the first step about success is make a decision. The next thing is you need to know what you want. What is your dream? What is it that you want to achieve all these years, but for some reason you've never really achieved your dream? This business becomes your vehicle to achieve those dreams. The second thing is you need to find out what you need to do and know. You need to be teachable. Number three is you need to work hard. Discipline, guts, persistence. Persistence, there's no escape from it. If you want to succeed in the business, you have to be persistent and you have to be disciplined. And the last, you need faith in yourselves, faith in your sponsor, and faith in the company. What is the next step? The next step is get together with the person who invited you. They will guide you how to get started. Just follow their advice. They will teach you and grow your business. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We really appreciate you spending your evening with us. Thank you. Good night and God bless.
Thank you, Pascal. God bless you.
Thank you, Alan. Good night.